Okay, I'm Nakalanda Matovu. I come from Uganda. I'm an organic farmer, vegetable farmer. I come from the central part of Uganda, and I lead a scheme. It's called the Fresh Veggies Initiative, which I started after my second degree. We do fresh vegetables, and then we do direct marketing. I've led 200 women in this scheme from about 10 groups to make sure that they are able to grow these vegetables, and then we do direct marketing. We have a loose network of some groups are far away from the city because they grow stuff that our consumers need, so they send them to us. But the whole point is that these loose networks maintain their autonomy. We don't have to be under the same system. So the model is that we have schemes wherever people are growing, then you reach out to communities and you do direct marketing through door-to-door deliveries, through office deliveries. But right now, the deliveries I'm working on depend on my small car and the time I have, which we do weekly. We are working on setting up satellite markets, monthly markets in these locations. And in our first pilot market, we want to do it in Wakiso district, where my cluster is. We are going to start the market April this year. And the purpose of this, because we are running a PGS. PGS is participatory guarantee system, whereby you're doing organic farming and you don't have the third-party certification, but the members are actively involved in all the steps to guarantee that the public or the consumers or the community will really truly regard you as organic. So its participation is a key aspect in this kind of arrangement. So I really feel guilty for now that the women are not very much able to access markets and participate in them. So we want, but anyway, it has been just part of the process that they first master the skills and believe in it, that they know it's going to work. So now we are ready to start the market in the local area. We want it to run every month. And then when the market is within the locality, people will walk from their gardens with their baskets and bring the stuff. And then the opportunity we can exploit is that Wakiso district is surrounding the capital city, Kampala, and so many people are building up and residing there, and they are not necessarily farmers, though it's a peri-urban center. So this is a growing market, automatic market. So we want to have this market and then do home deliveries. Our first target is going to be 100 households. Then when it works out, we spread it out to the clusters in Mukono. We are members of NOGAMU, the National Organic Movement of Uganda, and NOGAMU is setting up farmers markets, but still we are participating, but still the logistics are so hard because we have to find our own transport to the market, and they are a little bit far in the city. These are upscale markets. The advantage in that, it gives us recognition and visibility, but then it does not allow so many of the members to participate. Yeah, these are very evident and it's very saddening. First of all, now I've studied agriculture. We had a weather pattern that was very clear. Now I can't stand up straight to tell people it's going to rain this month, it's going to shine this month. Right now we are experiencing El Nino, prolonged rains, and the weather forecasts are telling us up to February. This month is supposed to be towards the end of the rainy season, and we should dry our crops, the grain and things that have to dry, such that we prepare for the seed for the next season. But it is a lot of rain right now. Of course, this has an advantage to us who are doing vegetables. We are able to have the rain, but we do not have yet the technologies to harvest this rain, because I know after February it's going to be terribly hot. So the impact is that the temperature variations are very, very drastic. They are very drastic, and this leads to crop failure. But since we are organic farming, the kind of practices we do try to mitigate and try to make sure that we have, we can at some extent be able to not to get the full blast or the full blow of climate change. Because when you do mixed cropping, mixed farming, I mean we do animals and some crops, because much as in our scheme we are vegetable farmers, generally agriculture is a principal activity, a principal form of living for people in Uganda. So you'll find that now, like me, at home we almost raise everything. We have ducks, rabbits, pigs, cows, everything. So the manure goes to our garden, and in our garden you'll find all sorts of things. It's almost like a small forest. So when you imitate nature, when you have a lot to learn from it. So when you look at our garden, for example, we don't have too much loss that we, like the ones you see in monocropping systems where people decide to cut down all the trees and grow maize and grow one thing. So these are the practices we are encouraging, such that even in the face of climate change, we minimize the losses we are likely to get. Yeah. I want my government, first of all, to realize that they have a role to play. I've learned a lot from this meeting, so many things of bringing out information that is going to be helpful. There are so many projects going back home. For instance, there is this project around Lake Victoria. They cut down forests where indigenous people are living, and that forest had a big impact on the lake, and then they put palm oil projects. And I don't think palm oil is the best oil we should feed on. But still, even if we need palm oil, we don't do it at the expense of the forest. We have flower projects and so many agriculture projects which are putting a lot of waste in Lake Victoria. Lake Victoria is such a key asset, natural resource that we should protect. It's very absurd that all this is happening at the nose of our government. They are looking, and what really saddens me is that when you look at our paperwork as a country, it's perfect. We have environmental impact assessment for almost all projects, but I think it just stays on the paper, because you wonder if the right engineers, the right professions have all given part to set up these projects, the right thing should have been done. But they only follow what they want to do, and then they will fulfill the paperwork. So Lake Victoria should be restored, and we should protect it. If possible, that project should stop and we replant the forest. We are losing a lot of biodiversity, and tree planting is not just about planting any tree. We need the species that have been there indigenously. They play a key role in the survival of nature, of so many birds, insects, and what have you. That's one thing for sure. Then I want my government, whichever steps it takes, to consider inclusion. Inclusion means that there should be dialogue with the people who are affected. Yesterday I attended a UN meeting. We had our honorable commissioner from African Union and several people from FAO and UN related agencies. They were mentioning about how we have to integrate agriculture, nutrition and health, which is a very good thing. And they really mentioned that there should be multi-stakeholder approach, but this should also consider inclusion. We should stop thinking for the people we are saying that so many women are going to be affected, children are going to go hungry. We should rather set up programs that reach out to them and they are part of the process. Even if they've gone to school or not gone to school, they have ideas. Sometimes they would like to be heard, and when you include them in the process, it becomes more sustainable. But when you sit up there and you decide for them, they will think, okay, this is so-and-so's thing, and they just become silent people who are receiving, and they are not very active in the process, and yet they are the people we are targeting. So any development towards climate change should consider inclusion of women and the rural communities. And then we need commitment in terms of funding. I've just picked a leaflet there which is saying COP21 should ensure that the hand hoe becomes something of the past. So if we are leaving the hand hoe, we need the appropriate technologies that are going to make farming easier and fun and more productive, that people should enjoy doing it, and then they feed the world. I'm the East African convener for organic farm organizations. I represent East Africa. We are running an academy where now we are doing the mapping of all organic farm organizations, and IFOAM being funded by IFOAM, is running an academy where 48 participants from English-speaking and Spanish, all continents, we are participating. This is a self-organized, for the Intercontinental Network for Organic Farmers is self-organized. So we need further capacity building such that we are able to build a resilient system of governance, but also to bring down the activities to our communities. For instance, my vision is that if we could have regional chapters of INOFO, we have maybe INOFO East Africa, INOFO Asia, INOFO so and so, and then we reach out to these farmer organizations, and then we have running projects that should be, for instance, if a project is funded for a certain period, it should have results that will promise sustainability, that it shouldn't always be the fact that people should rely on aid, but we should get aid in a way that is going to go to the grassroots and make sure that, for instance, right now we did a case study with FAO, and FAO gave us some money, just honorary money, $2,000. But I'm using this money with our group. We are buying irrigation kits, and we are saying that each member who is going to get a kit, we are just doing first 60 crops, one line, should pay 50%. It's affordable. I've been shopping out for this in Uganda, but most of the technologies were for the huge farms, and yet we are smallholders. But now there is a company that has broken down this technology to affordable costs. So if we now have this small fund, but we don't want to make our people so reliable on funds. So we are saying that if you can pay 50%, then I know that money will finally dwindle, but then we can buy more, and with time it means that they will be able to irrigate even during the upcoming droughts. And then if they irrigate, we shall be able to sell more vegetables, since our market is readily available. It's only that people fear to reach out to the market, and I've done the thing that people fear most. I reach out to the market, talk to the people, knock at their doors, tell them, here I have these carrots, here I have this. So if we are able to get that income and harness it, then people will now relax, settle, because in our schemes we do other things like credit saving, VSLA, Village Saving and Loan Association. So people are able to save, and they're able to access money for fees. So it feeds into the livelihoods systematically, and then you see people appreciating what they are doing. So next time you're telling people, don't cut down a tree, they know what it means. But when people are hungry and the only source of quick income is the tree to cut and make charcoal, they will cut it. So we should really think of inclusive development. I don't know if I've talked too much, but I was able to mention what IFOAM should do us. We need capacity building, we need support for appropriate technologies. Yes.